they just lined up and performing takeoff checks and engine run up. The pressurization, ladies and gentlemen, the green, white, and red, the Italian flag.
There they go. Floats off.
In this moment, takeoff thrust setting, brake release, ordered by the team leader, and then go!
Go off, please.
Acceleration during this takeoff roll, rotation will be the 110 knots.
Oh yeah, look at that.
A very few moments to go before the takeoff of the second section, and as a tradition, we would like to begin our show standing and singing loudly with the emotional notes of our national anthem. Sì, l'Italia, come on, ladies and gentlemen, also the second section is starting as acceleration on the runway. The rotation this time will be at 115 knots.
Yeah, here they roll, here they roll. The others are not far from me,
In a few moments, the first rejoin maneuver, then it will be power check. The display program of the Italian aerobatic team obviously depends on the weather and could be downgraded as prevailing weather conditions worsen. Freece Tricolouri, in fact, are able to perform their high program, the complete one, when the cloud base is at least about 4,000 feet above the ground. To welcome Freece Tricolouri 2025. separation where the formation is going to split into 3 sections. The formation is turning smoothly to the left with its typical wrong formation, the well-known diamond of Freece Tricolouri. At the edge of the diamond, the formation leader, pony number 1, Major Pierluigi Raspa. In the very center of the diamond, pony number 6, the first slot as a tail in the back, our solo. Let's go up, addressed to his wingman by the voice of Pony 1, and this will be the great separation of the cardio. Aircraft to the left, 3 to the right. And now prepare your cameras and don't miss the opportunity to take the best picture of the first amazing cross scene. Performing a looping where the second one on the left is performing a half Cuba 8. Get on board the first in the row of 3. TV a Mademoiselle Captain Simone from number 6 in the first section, a shallow stage, and the second section to chase the 5 ahead and complete the rejoin. And the wing one from the left, let's count together with the solo. 90 degrees rolls along longitudinal axis performed as a spectacular 4-point roll. And after a roll by the solo, pony number 1 from the right is now going to show us how to perform a roll with 8 aircraft. Alternation solo main formation is given the press rhythm to the exhibition of Freece Tricolouri, and so 8 aircraft to the left, 1 coming from the right. Solo pilot again with another maneuver along the display line, 350 knots, white smoke, inverted fly. Technical features of our AB33 line, an aircraft able to sustain a prolonged upside-down flight and then to go up, stand inverted while the solo is looking for the formation across the canopy. Main formation is coming again, Paul is ready to perform the next maneuver narrated by Major Raspa. Green with red, this was the winner roll, and then a double 0-3. The official denomination of our team, a unit of 100 people, officers and NCOs, are on duty every day to make this spectacular flight possible. Second section, with Captain Pamparillo, followed by Pony 7, Captain Lieutenant Pozzani, and Pony 8, Captain Luca Battistoni, and then will be another join for the main formation. From the left, again, the solo comes with this aileron roll series. You can count again with him while turning. It will take 12 seconds to fly. Solo, leaving to the right, main formation straight in front of us. In a few moments they will split into two sections and preparing for the maneuver assemble of the passion of all women and men of the Italian Air Force. We're one of the few teams in the world to perform this maneuver from bottom to top. So let's get ready for the emotion, because this will be the art of Freece Tricolouri. And it's going to be accompanied by the magic voice of Andrea Bocelli. Camera ready for the crossing. 3, 2. After the amazing crossing of the heart of Freece Tricolouri, once again solo piloted from the left to the sides of factor maneuver. He chose a perfect shifting with the white smoke that difference of about 10 Gs. Solo pilot is climbing away to the right, drawing a giant cowboy lasso, and from the same direction, main formation is coming again, ready to introduce you second left and right wingman. Yeah. 24, Major Oscar Del Do, and 45, Captain Leonardo Leo start rolling at the same time, and which is now going up and performing a giant looping. 4,000 feet over the field at the top of this maneuver, ready to give once again the stage to the solo pilot. Formation to the left in a while changing again its shape, but let's look again for the solo pilot on the right with its slow roll. A nice skill maneuver is the exulting pilot capability of coordinated flight control. on the left, another barrel roll for the 8 aircraft of the main group. This time it will be a right-handed roll performed in a configuration increasing considerably the difficulty of execution of this maneuver. Formation rotates gently around this axis as if it were a second giant reactor along about 200 feet. This was the graceful right barrel roll in double range formation. Enough to elegance with this roll the power of the next maneuver by the solos. Left to the left, knife edge performing this negative Schneider turn. Take a look at the white element of the platform is being literally pushed out to the side of the airport. Main formation now straight in front of us. Aircraft side by side in 2 lines. Now going up with the green, white, and red of the Italian flag. The solo pilot beside them nose down and then going up, climbing vertical like right in the spokes of the main formation and inserts in the separation of the 2 sections. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the break of the Arizona. An historical figure by Freece Tricolouri dedicated to a place that used to be the meeting pub of the first pioneers of Italian aerobatics, where to hug families and friends without any military formalism. And this time, the warm hug of the Arizona is dedicated to all of you. After this amazing crossing of Freece Tricolouri, let's look right in front of us. Well, above the horizon. So let's come in again with this next maneuver. White smoke, stick full throttle back to the belly and going up, staying to the blue sky, to the white sky actually. And now it's time to show you the maneuver sample of the fighter pilot. So with the second section turn a giant bullseye, while the first section pierces it in a line after shape like an arrow, while performing this barrel roll. For something very special, I'm going to show you the return engine. And meet the dynamic Freece Tricolouri, one of the 2 jets in the world, named Fairford, long arrival. Therefore, let's introduce him as our pony number 10, the second season as Freece Tricolouri. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to clap your hands for Major Federico De Cecco. And now look at your right, because the main formation is coming again. Pony from 1 to 5 in a line enjoy this double roll from the voice of Meggiocchi Luigi Rasparo.
Interni, via.
Pony number 2, Captain Emanuele Berruzzi, and Pony 3, Captain Giovanni Morello, rolling on second wheel and then again getting the original position on Pony 4 and 5. It is a big enough back to flight school. It's going to show us a vertical over everybody. That's our measure the change the exceptional maneuverability skill of this Italian twin-seat jet trainer by Leonardo Eckert, fully manufactured and maintained in Italy. Now, formation leader is going to answer one of the recurrent questions by our enthusiasts. What's the minimum distance in flight between one aircraft and the other? So don't miss the chance to take a picture of our Mike Charlie 39 tricolor belly during this low-speed stutter turn with aero brake expanded. Usually by the pilots of Freece Tricolouri, while from the left, again, the song is coming for what is probably the most renowned figure in this repertoire. Synthesis of skills sent down from pilot to pilot and technical features of the MB-39. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the spectacular Freece Fly. Straight in front of us beyond this net of white smoke left by the solo, the 8 aircraft of the main formation are now reconfiguring the big wing formation for the last follower of the show, the Alona. The one by which we proudly spread the longest Italian flag in the world. And as a tradition, it's going to be accompanied by the musical La Turandot by Puccini and the unforgettable voice of Maestro Luciano Pavarotti. Flag. This is the label we want to leave you after this display, representing the result of our over 60 years aerobatic tradition. We proudly do it to show our flying style on behalf of Aeronautica Militare, the Italian Air Force, as worldwide Italian ambassadors. There are 10 pilots outlining the Freece Tricolouri's complete formation, but one of the secrets of our team is that the most experienced pilot is here, on the ground. Former wingman and then first slot of the team, the commander stays at the center of the display line with the role of directing flight in radio communication with the formation and ensuring safety and spectacularity of the show. The moment has come, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce the commander of the Italian Air Force aerobatic team of Freece Tricolouri, Lieutenant Colonel Franco Paolo Barocco. It's going to be another split landing, but in two sections, so actually a formation landing with the first section touching down right now. That's the perfect occasion to introduce you once again our pilots one by one, starting from our leader, pony number 1, Major Pierluigi Raspa, then the first left wingman, pony number 2, Captain Emanuele Barlucci, then pony number 3, Captain Giovanni Morello. And the touchdown a few seconds for the second section, led by our first slot, pony number 6, Captain Simone Fanfarillo, then pony number 7, Captain Luca Pozzani, pony number 8, Captain Luca Battistoni. It wasn't flying today, but let's clap your hands please also for our second slot, pony number 9, Captain Alessandro Tamarina. Last but not least, our solo pony number 10, Major Federico De Cecco.